Gather round, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. It's a pleasure to have you back with us. 10th episode, our number 10. We are in double digits. Very exciting. I'm David.
And I'm Philip.
And I'm terribly, horribly embarrassed, Philip. Last week, I don't know if you actually caught this, but I was listening to our podcast from our episode from last week on a run, and I referred to you as Philip POWWOW instead of Philip Amorine.
Really?
And yeah, Philip POWWOW is a friend of mine from high school, and I guess it was in my head and it just came out, and I'm so embarrassed about it. I didn't even notice it until like days later when I listened back at it.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily know because I don't know. I think maybe I would have thought that you were making what would that be? A Star Wars reference or something.
Nope. Just totally up your name. I'm sorry.
Not an issue at all. Not an issue at all.
You're very gracious.
So this week, I think that we have pretty much talked about every category that we have in the episode that is reoccurring, right? We've talked about cinema. We've talked about elements of graphics and yada, yada, yada. We've even talked about camping. We've talked about elements of camping. But David, I realized this week that we've never actually talked about the other element that has become a constant within our podcast, and that's music. And I think that that's somewhat important, especially with us in these first couple episodes that we do while getting to be open and informational about ourselves to the audience. I think that it's rather important that we kind of expand that slaps just for one episode to just kind of talk about what music drives us, how it's important to us, and how you can find more music that kind of speaks about us for certain instances, for sure. I know that
let's slap each other silly, Phil.
Let's slap each other with that music. Yes, we have certain specific situations that we came up for each other, and we will both discuss the prompts ourselves as well. But let's go. I'll start out. David, what is a song you will always associate with a sad memory?
There were a lot of sad memories when I was living in Romania. I was young, but it was an emotional time, and I would say, "Come Home" by OneRepublic.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the song? It's very,
I think I would know it if I heard it.
Yeah. It's a very soft, melancholic song.
Yeah.
But I like it.
OneRepublic was the last concert I went to before pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah. What, for me, it's Paint by the Paper Kites. It's a song I associate with a sad memory. Me and an ex really communicated through music. That was one of the things that really brought us together, and it was almost a language for us. And that song alone, she sent that to me after we had broken up, and that song was the lone reason why we got back together, because she sent it to me and I had it on replay, and I just could not stop going around. And it was just freaking college, and I'm going around from class to class listening to this song. Nobody knows. Everybody thinks like I'm walking around listening to this. Like, I don't know what they would think, but and then all of a sudden you just listen to this and it's just on repeat. I'm on a bus going from campus to campus, and Paint by the Paper Kites. Your question, David.
Okay. Kind of a good segue, because what is a song that you've shared with a partner?
For me, it's Surrender by Walk the Moon. Ironically, it was a Walk the Moon and OneRepublic concert together. Was the last concert I went to. But Surrender, it's tremendously.
Is this going to keep going? Every song you name, every band you name would also happen to feature at that concert?
Yeah, and you know what? Who else was at this concert? No. It's. I think it ends there, right? I forget who was. Oh, I remember who was like the opener. There were 3 people there, and the opener was a one-hit wonder. Anyways, Surrender by Walk the Moon. It's really good. The lyrics are powerful, and I know most people associate Walk the Moon with Shut Up and Dance, but they're one of my favorite bands, and I love this song.
Mine is, I kind of had to pick 2. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. with my first significant other, and Fields of Gold by Sting. Both wonderful songs, especially Fields of Gold. Fields of Gold.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
you're so yeah. That Fields of Gold especially has been a special song since I was little. But yeah, both of those songs are really nice.
I want to ask you, David, what's a song that always makes you want to work out?
Yeah, I don't like working out. I don't think any song really makes me want to work out.
You like to run, right? Or is that just...
I like to run, but I don't usually run with music.
Oh.
Because I find it messes. Maybe it's because I'm a drummer and it messes with, like, I want to run to the beat of the music. Unless I crafted a playlist that had a
consistent beat,
a specific consistent tempo, then that would bother me because I would constantly be changing my running pace. And even if it did have a consistent tempo, that wouldn't allow me to run faster or slower if I felt like I could, you know? So I don't usually run to music. I run to podcasts now. I used to run to nothing, especially in LA when I would run at the beach and something. I didn't need music. But I did pick a song, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk.
Oh, by Daft Punk.
I think if anything, that's the one.
Okay, that's funny because, you know, that exact lyric is in one of Kanye's songs called Stronger.
He stole it.
Yeah. And my song...
Well, I'm sure Daft Punk made a lot of money off of Kanye's song, but
I'm sure
it was their song.
Sure. But of course it's always Kanye, because for me, I also picked Kanye. Well, not that you picked Kanye, but anyways, I would never. You would never, right? And who would pick Kanye? Kim did. Power by Kanye West. Man, Kanye... Prime Kanye had a way to just be so incredibly braggadocious and unabashedly unashamed that it's infectious. It really is.
I detest it with all my heart.
I can see why, but if it hits you in the right mood, it gives me that, like, that testosterone, that just unlimited, just shoot me up right there with just, roids right there. Your turn.
Yeah. What genre? What genre do you turn to in hard times?
It's pretty easy right here. I always go to indie alt. A mixture of the two. It's so incredibly descriptive, and I find the lyrics to me more, and that's usually what you're looking for. The tones are more somber, and it's much more...
I listen to indie on a regular basis. That's like...
Yeah, indie rock. That's
my normal times kind of music. Yeah, indie rock, indie pop as well.
Indie pop, sure, absolutely. But for you, who would you what genre do you turn to hard times?
Oh, hard rock and metal.
Wow. Is it to
but not a lot of metal. Like there's very little metal that actually I can vibe with. I love Avenged Sevenfold. It remains to this day the best concert that I ever went to. It was so much fun. But there's most metal I don't really vibe with, but I do listen to a lot of heavy stuff, especially when I'm feeling particularly somber.
Right, but what's the purpose of metal when you're sad? Is it to bust you out of that sadness?
I don't know. I think same story as what you said. The lyrics just mean more. I feel like it strikes the tone that I am sort of feeling when I'm not feeling my best. I really don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I used to listen to it a lot more in high school, but I guess that's just because high school you're more moody and grumpy.
Right. More pubescent. What's a song that makes you happy, David?
Okay, it's not a happy song really, but
yeah, I'm gathering
with my most recent long-term relationship, every time she put this song on, I would just smile instantly. Because I love the song, and it was my That Slaps last week, I think. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac always makes me feel happy. It just fills me with nostalgia. It relaxes me and it fills me with joy, and I just love that song so much.
For me, this is completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, because Dreams is possibly a top 10 song of all time. Like it's filled with lyrics.
It's definitely
got a great
up there.
beat.
Yeah.
It's got an iconic singer, whatever. A song that makes me happy is It's Raining Men. I love it.
Oh yes,
I absolutely.
Oh my god,
I absolutely love it. No matter when I hear it, I'm never not going to listen to the full thing. And yes, I realize it's associated with like stripping now. I think I don't know if it was meant to be. Yeah, it's so fun.
You know who else loves that song besides me and most people?
Right.
Is my 7-week-old
yeah
niece. She just loves that. Like we're always putting on dance music because for whatever reason she loves dance music, and that's one of them. And she just chills out. You like hold her and you dance with her, and she just like relaxes instantly.
And you know what? The people who don't like that song, quote unquote, are just bitter. They're just bitter that they're trying to put on a mask and a charade. That song is they're
not fooling anybody.
Yeah, no, that song, you're just lying to yourself and lying to others if you say you don't like that song. That song always makes me happy.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead, David.
All right, where are we? What is your guilty pleasure song?
I mean, some could argue that the previous song would consider that, but I will go even more embarrassing because I am faithful to you, the faithful podcast listening audience that we have accrued and acquired. Thank you so much for listening. And please don't judge me. Side to Side by Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj. Yes, when talking about a dick bicycle, I identify with that. Don't know why. It sounds good. It's got a great beat.
Okay.
Way to go, Ariana. You got me on it. Side to Side.
Yeah, I'm striking the opposite tone here.
Good.
I don't know why, but I always like enjoy this song. I think I just like get the lyrics so much. It's We Don't Talk Anymore by Charlie Puth and Selena Gomez. Yeah, I just like it's lamenting just the fact that you lost a friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually I like that song. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like I really enjoy that song every time it comes on.
All right. What's a song you identify with another person? I have an interesting one, but I want to hear yours first.
I think I've got loads of these, but I would say one of the biggest ones from like way early on in my life would be well, actually now I'm thinking of two songs for the same person. The one I have written down is "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion, and it always reminds me of my sister because when she was really small, when we were both really little, she was obsessed with Titanic, and she had the CD.
Should. It's fantastic,
right? She had the CD of Celine Dion's like the soundtrack, and she'd listen to it all the time. And the other one is "Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die."
Oh yeah.
By Eiffel 65.
Okay.
That also reminds me of my sister because we jammed to that for the last 2 decades, basically.
Yeah, you can still jam to that. That should.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like that's another one of my niece's favorites. She loves dancing to "Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die."
You know what? Okay, so I'm not going to reveal mine yet. I'll go along because I'm sure everybody knows this. So we have a mutual friend, my best friend David. I'll cut out the rest of his name, actually. Let me David S., just so that way people know that I am speaking of a different David.
Why don't you bleep it out?
Oh, even better. His last
name, because it is a swear word.
His last name is a swear word. Yeah, that he would take that.
Never utter it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, anyways, we used to, and one thing that we identify with is games and bets. Actually, as I'm telling the story, don't know if it'll identify, but I love this story. And so one thing that we identified with is games and bets. That's like kind of one thing that was a bedrock of our friendship. And I say was because one day we created this impromptu game. I want to say you were there, Hoffman. I want to say that you were there, maybe. And we created this impromptu game where I would go through my song list, my personal like library, and I would play a song, and the first person in the group to come up with the title of the song. Yes.
I was there.
To come up with the title of the song would win. And then, of course, it would always be popular songs, popular titles, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And so this particular day, we started playing this song, and it goes, I have a love for me. Darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. And David Jesus, I said it again. Beat me out. David,
Just bleep it.
David S. He buzzed in, and it was like, name is your buzzer, and so he David, and so I'm like, yes, and he's like, Perfect by Ed Sheeran, and I was like, no, actually. And he's like, yes, it is. And I was like, David, no, it's not. It's actually, and before I could get it, and he's like, yes, it is. I know that song. That's definitely. I'm like, David, calm down. I'm about to tell you if you would just let me. No, I know that's perfect. I've heard that song. I know it. I was like, oh, all right. If you believe it so much, why don't you bet me? Why don't you bet me? And he's like, of course, I'll bet anything. And me knowing that I'm winning because I'm freaking looking at the title of the song. I'm looking at it. I'm holding it in front of me. I'm like, since I know you're going to McDonald's after this, you have to get me a cookie. If I lose, I get you your dinner or your lunch, whatever. He's like, deal. Who is it? And I said, it's Perfect Duet by Beyonce and Ed Sheeran, which, in hindsight and knowing,
I'm correct to say it's definitely Sheeran, but go on.
Okay, fantastic. Ed Sheeran. But anyways, it's by the same guy, and by the intro of the song, you would know no difference between the regular version of that song or the Perfect Duet, which, by the way, the label does say Perfect Duet. It does not just say perfect. So that's why I was such a stickler about it. And he was so mad. He stormed out of there, like practically threw a cookie at my face when he came back. And he said, we're never betting again. And to this day, we have pretty much never bet on anything, quote unquote, interpretive. But anyways, I always identify that song with David S. Your turn, Hoffman.
What song was great until it was overplayed?
You know what? I'm going to go with Hello by Adele. That song is actually tremendously good. And I think since it's not being played on the radio, which always kind of fascinated me that made it as like a top 20 song on the radio. That was always weird. But that particular song played on the radio, and it really deteriorated and watered down that song for me to where I'm like, But then kind of listening, whenever you listen back to it, beyond, it actually is quite powerful. A lot of Adele's music has that ability.
Yeah, it really came back, and her voice is just so nice to listen to. That her songs generally, like they die a little bit when they're overplayed, and then they come back round and you start enjoying them again. Mine has not come back round. It's great, but it has not come back round yet. Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper is a great song. Yeah. But oh my God, am I sick of it. Whew.
You know what? That song, I would say alone, they knew that they had a winner because they used that in the trailer, and it was absolutely tremendous. It was that song alone got me to go see the movie. It was really good. David, my last one here. Name a song you would be glad if you never heard again.
Any mumble rap, or most rap in general. I do like some rap, but I'm not a big fan of most rap. But if we want a specific song, the first one that came to mind was Blurred Lines, which is not really rap at all, but it was a song that came to mind. So Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
I despised that song from the moment it first played. The subject matter, it's irritating. It's like it gets stuck in your head and it's not even good.
The song that I would be glad if I never heard again, Yummy by Justin Bieber. I heard that this this newest album I heard redeems him a lot. A fair amount of, ironically, the last reference we'll make to him. But David S. really loved this new album that Justin Bieber had. I don't know why. He's been on me to be like, have you listened to it? Have you listened to it? And I'm like, no, I have not. He has yet to win me back. And so I have to go give it a listen. Anyways, Yummy by
I've only heard the one song with the peaches down in Georgia. And like, I think it's okay. There's nothing special about it. It doesn't really. I haven't bothered to go look it up and listen to the rest of it. I've just seen a lot of Instagram reels that are
The people who love it are infatuated with it, apparently, though. So
yes, they are.
But Yummy by Justin Bieber. I used to work back when we were both in LA. I used to work in a top 20 music station, and I swear to God, we played this once an hour. For each of the hours that I was there. So whenever I worked a 4-hour shift, I had to listen to this 4 times in a night. And I swear to God, that was 3 more times than I could even fathom. That by the 3rd time, I just had to turn down the radio on my knob, on my personal knob, because I could not stand it. It's so stupid, and it doesn't have any context and lyrics. And It's not even a Justin Bieber thing. I do have Justin Bieber songs that I like. It's just that this particular song was so incredibly stupid, and it's so annoying. I hate Yummy by Justin Bieber. Your last one.
You know, I totally forgot about guilty pleasure that I told you that I was going to bring up anyway, but I didn't. Dua Lipa is friggin' awesome, and Levitating is a jam. Anyway,
Really?
What is a song that reminds you of a place?
Now, this feels like cheating, but I didn't necessarily know what you meant, so I just took it as the physical one, and then I'll see what you go with. But the song Oklahoma from Oklahoma, it just makes me think of Oklahoma. That's really all that
See, that's not what I meant at all. I meant like a place that you've actually been.
Oh.
Okay, I think I mentioned it, I think, in your first question. The entire Dreaming Out Loud album by One Republic, their first album, reminds me of the year that I lived in Romania when I was like 11 years old. That entire album is like, every time I listen to it, it just throws me back to my time in Romania. And there's other stuff, like some Echo Smith songs remind me of London, and there's a hard rock song that I wouldn't expect any listeners to actually know. It's called Sexual Hallucination, that reminds me very specifically of London City Airport.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I don't, there's no story there. I don't know.
Well, let me make an addendum to mine then. And in honor of your question, I'll go to Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5. It always takes me back. When that song first released, I had a dance class in New Jersey, and I always associate that song with that at least place and time in my life where I discovered that there's a direct difference between Arizona dry heat and New Jersey moist heat, humidity heat. Oh, I sweat out of places and pores that I didn't know existed. My knees got sweaty. I've never had my knees sweat. Like, oh, it was disgusting. But anyways, that song I always associate with.
Where was this?
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, but yeah, there we go. Do you feel, how's your face?
There we go.
How's your face? Do you feel a little raw after all that slapping?
Oh, I thought you were asking me about my beard.
No.
My face is, I feel awake. I feel alive.
Yeah, you should. You should feel woke after hearing all these wonderful suggestions. I'm curious because
there's so many things I wish I could have packed in there. There's so many other songs that I could have brought up.
I'm curious, though, since you control kind of the Spotify aspect of it, you're really our social media mastermind. I give all credit to you in that aspect in regard, if anybody ever asks. But I'm curious, this is an open question, and I can always cut this if you don't want to talk about it. But are you going to add these songs to our Spotify playlist, sans the songs we never want to hear again?
Well, see, there, like, where do you draw the line? I wasn't going to, no. I think that would be...
cheating?
That would be cheating.
Okay.
I will say, because I haven't figured out how to share the playlist yet on social media, because I wanted to do that swipe up link in a story, but it wasn't working. You can't do that or something. I'll figure something out. But if you are listening right now, then you should be able to find it, because there shouldn't be any playlist with the same name. It's called That Slaps! By POWWOW Podcast. That is the name of the playlist. Right. That Slaps! By POWWOW Podcast.
And in case you missed it, you're going to hear it again in our That Slap segment. So no need to worry.
You are, yes.
We're giving you fair warning to grab a pen and paper and make sure that you can get a hold of it. And we will try our darndest to get an outreach and get a link for you. But for now, grab that pen and paper. And thank you so much for listening to our main segment. Let's move on here, shall we? David, as we do each and every week, I have a game, and so do you. But this particular week, I'm setting up the game for both of us. Since the game and theme of the episode will be centered around music, I think it's only fair that we pawn to replay this back-to-back, and I'll start us out. Of course, we might have slightly different iterations of this, but my concept of the game is this. I will be giving you a list of five songs, and you will be giving me 5 songs. But in my version, I will give you the first 5 or the closest without giving away too much of the song. Some songs, maybe it directly says the name of the song in like the first line, and so I skipped that and went to the next one. Okay. But anyways, the first 5 lines of the song, and it's like golf. We are going to be going head to head. The one with the lowest amount of lines necessary to get the song wins. And this will have to be somewhat rapid speed. We don't necessarily, you can't take forever to think about it in a day. I only have so much editing power in me. So we will have to be doing it fair and honest. Maybe we'll do a Mississippi system. I don't know. But either way, are you ready, Hoffman?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. First one. Here we go. Is this the real life?
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Yeah, and he's got a 1 score. By the way, all of these, I would be shocked if you don't know. They're not all going to be all-time classics, but I would be shocked if you yourself had never heard of these. So I'm trying to be fair.
I tried to follow the same. Same model as you.
But yeah. I thought I should mention it after that one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make a change.
Keep going.
All right. Second one. For once in my life. So together it's, I'm going to make a change for once in my life.
Okay, keep going.
I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good.
Go more.
I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good. Going to make a difference.
Last line.
I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good. Going to make a difference. Going to make it right. Okay, before you give up,
don't know.
Let me at least grab my pelvis and I'm going to make a change. For once in my life.
Nope.
It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
Nope.
No? Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Never been a huge Michael fan.
All
I
right.
do like some songs.
Okay, well, I think that
Or
was
liked,
a fair one.
I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least I put it on. I feel like that's a fair addition to this one.
That's fine.
Anyways.
I accept.
Okay, this next one. Somebody once told me the world is going to roll me.
It is. Smash Mouth. All-Star.
Yeah, there we go. 1 and 1. And then a big old X there. All right, next one. If you said goodbye to me tonight.
One more.
There would still be music left to write.
Keep going.
What else could I do?
Keep going.
And let me give it to you all. If you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you.
I got nothing.
If you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time.
Oh, it's it
rings
in
a
there.
distant bell, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's like without the tune, it's so hard to place because it's obviously not a song I listen to on regular rotations. Oh no.
I'll give you a hint.
That's so frustrating.
I'll give you a hint. The title is in the lyrics. If you say goodbye to me, if you say goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time.
Is it for the longest time?
You're absolutely correct.
I couldn't tell you the artist though.
Billy Joel.
That's right.
Yes. All right. Last one here, and you've got a score of 1, 6, 1, and 5 altogether, totaling 13. So we gotta get a 1 here for you. All right. First one. I got this feeling inside my bones.
Keep going.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on.
Oh no! Oh my god!
It's funny because unfortunately this is not a visual podcast, but Hoffman is absolutely writhing in pain.
Yeah, it's Justin Timberlake, and it's I got this feeling inside my. But how does the chorus go?
One more.
Can't stop the feeling.
There we go.
Yes.
And he got it off of 2. Altogether totaling a nice and even 15 score that I got to beat. 15. Yikes. All right. There we go. But just to be clear off of the immediate reaction, those were all fair additions, yes?
And the one that I didn't get, that you scored I scored 6 on, right? That's how that works.
That's what I did.
That makes sense.
Fair enough.
All right. Are you ready for yours?
Yes, I'm a little scared, but yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Empty spaces, what are we living for?
Go on.
Abandoned places, I guess we know the score.
Oh, shoot. That one rang a bell. The first one didn't. Go on.
On and on. Does anybody know what we're looking for?
Go on.
Another hero, another mindless crime.
Can you say it all in order? The ones that
Yes.
you've done thus far?
Yes. Empty spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. On and on, does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mindless crime.
Oh my God. On and on. What are we looking for? That one rings a freaking bell. Oh my gosh. Off the top of the last one, and read it all in order if you would.
With the last one?
Yeah, with the last one, please.
Okay. Empty spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. On and on, does anybody know what we're looking for? Another hero, another mindless crime. Behind the curtain in the pantomime.
Oh my gosh, what is it? Beyond that.
Come on.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Hit me with it.
Oh, Show Must Go On by Queen.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. My only embrace to that song is through Moulin Rouge.
Oh. That's one. It's. I think one of my two favorite Queen songs. I also love that we both started with Queen.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, your turn.
Okay, all right. This is probably the more difficult one, actually.
Oh shoot!
I just pretend. Okay, it starts. I'll give you a free. It starts with an oh yeah, but I just skipped that one.
Okay.
I just pretend that I'm in the dark.
Next.
I just pretend that I'm in the dark. I don't regret because my heart can't take a loss.
Next.
I just pretend that I'm in the dark. I don't regret because my heart can't take a loss. I'd rather be so oblivious.
Loser by Beck.
No.
Okay, continue.
You know what? I'm gonna give you one more line, and I'm also gonna try to change my intonation because it's kind of weird. It's okay. I just pretend that you know what? I don't know if I can do that.
Okay.
That I'm in the dark. I don't regret because my heart can't take a loss. I'd rather be so oblivious. I'd rather be with you.
Something by Metallica? I don't know.
No. You got it came out like last year, I think.
Oh. Something in the dark. Something in the dark. Something. I'm just rather be so oblivious.
Okay, I'll do you one like you did for me.
Okay.
I just pretend. No? Any?
I just pretend. No. I'm out. I don't know what it is.
Okay, it's The Weeknd, and it is In Your Eyes by The Weeknd.
Oh, would have had no idea. No idea whatsoever.
Really? Oh, damn it. I was so sure that you'd know that one, especially after our first episode of this podcast. Okay, let's move on. All right, this one you should get. I got my first real six string.
I got my first real six string. Wow, that one. Give me one more, but this one I know I'll know.
I got my first real six string. Bought it at the 5 and dime.
Got my first real. Got it at the 5 and dime. Got my first real six. Got it at the 5 and dime. Dang it! What? One more. Shoot.
I got my first real six string. Bought it at the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled.
Got my first real six string. Right at the 5 and dime. Is this shoot? Is this? I'm a cowboy wanted dead or alive by Bon Jovi. No. Next one.
The next one. The next line has the title of the song in it. So I'm just. I got my first real six string. Bought it at the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the blank.
Got my first real six string. At the 5 and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Played it all the time.
No. The next line is me and some guys from school.
Me and some guys from school. This is horrible. I actually feel embarrassed for myself. Not for the second one.
You should be embarrassed. Like the second one, I you know, like I guess you just it's not a song you're familiar with.
The second one I have a serious qualm about, but the other two I should. Well, even the first one
you really should know this one.
Yeah, this one I do feel like I should know. This one I'm embarrassed. I don't know. Go ahead.
It's Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams.
Oh, I got my first real 6-string. Out at the 5 and dime.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew this one. This one I do feel like I should have known. All right, you've already won this week, but let's continue down the line of this.
Yes, let's. Now I feel bad about this next one because I don't know if. Okay, how long before I get in?
How long?
Before you know what I actually have a lot of lyrics written down here, so I'm going to give them two at a time. How long before I get in? Before it starts? Before I begin?
How long before I get in? Before it starts? Before I... Next.
How long before you decide? Before I know what it feels like?
Next.
If you never try, then you'll never know. Wait, sorry. Where do I go? If you never try, then you'll never know.
Say You Loved Me by Michael Bolton.
No.
Next one.
You know how long do I have to climb upon the side of this mountain of mine?
Stronger by Kanye West.
No. I look up at night, planets are moving at the speed of light.
Yellow by Coldplay.
You're getting warmer.
The Scientist by Coldplay?
No.
Yeah. What else is by Coldplay? I want something just like this. By
No.
Coldplay. Oh, well, that was a bunch of fooey. What the hell is it?
It's Speed of Sound by Coldplay.
Wouldn't have known. Jesus, Lord Almighty.
Okay, well, let's just see.
Last one of this fantastic game. Game.
We're talking away.
We are talking away. Next.
I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway.
Hairspray from the musical Hairspray.
No.
Next.
We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say, and I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shying away.
Mary Jane Makes You Feel This Way from Spider-Man, the Musical in the Dark.
Sing it, man. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay.
On me. Take on me. I don't know by who, but Take on me.
Aha.
By Aha. Hey, I got 3 on that last one, which brings my low total of 27 to a very respectable 15.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel as bad anymore because of the 3 that you definitely should have been able to get at least. You still scored more points than I did. So, and the 2 that were perhaps I guess you didn't know, which I apologize for. Maybe those were that wouldn't have made any difference anyway. I like to tell myself now.
Yes, fantastic. I love how in a competitive game and format where loser will be punished with something, we're finding out these oopsies on my end and not on your end. I just want to say that's real fun for both of us. I love that. I love that I'm the one who's getting the oopsies. I love it.
What do you mean oopsie? There's no oopsie involved here.
I shouldn't have been that hard with my paleontology. What's the left knee cartilage called for a triceratops? Oh, you didn't know? Oopsies. Oh, you never heard of this outside of one Moulin Rouge remix? Oopsies. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm sorry. You don't know the Show Must Go On by Queen?
No, I know a fair amount, but who knows? If you'd have done this and I didn't get Another One Bites the Dust, sure, I get it. You know, that's on me. But to freaking go, happy
the Show
birthday
Must Go
from
On
the Queen.
easily as big as another one bites the dust.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. You know what? You know what? We usually have to find a poll question for this show. That is the poll question for this show, because there is no way that is on equal footing for another one bites the dust. My mom can sing Another One Bites the Dust. She can't sing The Show Must Go On. Love you, Mom. Happy birthday. We'll move along to our mini segment of the week, mini segment of the week. I was going to say month, but actually this is our mini segment of the week. This week it is random question of the week. David, why don't you start us off, and I'll bring us home.
Yeah, sure. What pet would you bring with you to Mars? So Elon Musk has decided that you are going to Mars, and you can bring one pet. What type of pet would you bring with you to Mars?
That is tough, because I wouldn't say dog or cat. I want it to be something that can serve some form of purpose. But also, I don't want to be cruel. Like, if you bring a tiger up there, what's it going to do? It's going to hunt craters in there. Maybe.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to bring food for a tiger, so.
Yeah, so what's something that could, maybe like a mole? What about a mole? A mole, I think, would have fun just burrowing through all that stuff. And
yeah, I think it would be impossible to do like a dog or a cat, because you can't bring meat with you. Like, you basically have to bring something that can live on plant-based things that you can grow in a greenhouse, you know?
Right.
So I think I'd bring a rabbit.
All right. Random question of the week. Have you ever thought of, do you have, or would you ever have nipple piercings?
No. I mean, I would do it for a movie if I had a role that required me to have real nipple piercings, but no, not my thing. All right, this is our once more for the week. Philip.
Yes.
Monster movies are like sex.
Oh.
There's an appropriate amount of teasing required to make it more enjoyable for everyone involved. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's the Jaws effect. You can't show too much.
Yeah, exactly. All good monster movies, you have to, and look, this is inspired because I watched Godzilla vs. Kong today, and I watched another monster movie the other day, so I'm in that zone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just way better if you tease it. You know, you allow, like you said, Jaws. The beauty of it is that you basically never see the monster, and that allows the imagination to do its worst. Monster movies are like sex. You need to do some teasing to make it better for everyone.
There we go. And
we are going to do a monster mayhem. How would you describe it, Phil?
I wanted to label it a monster mash. Think of, we don't want to be sued, but think of the current events that happens in college basketball during the events of March. Where we have a bracket. And we have a top list of monsters, and we'll see who we think is the king of all monsters. I know that there are previous movies that have deemed the winner, but I think it's about time that we decide who the winner is, and we'll try to do this as quickly as possible since this is a once more. Really quickly, I'll give you the list of everybody in order of their seeds. So number 1 seed, Godzilla. 2 seed is a dragon. 3 seed is a mummy. 4 seed is alien. And then here we keep on going down. I'm just going to forget the seeds. Kraken, vampire, King Kong, Medusa, Chupacabra, Yeti, werewolf, Bigfoot, Jaws, Centaur, Frankenstein's monster, and a zombie. All right. So in the first matchup, David, we are going to, I should mention beforehand, we will decide the winner. If ever we come to a tie, I'm just going to yell out to my mom, who could care less, and she will decide and be the tiebreaker. Sound good to you?
Sounds great.
All right. First up, we have Godzilla, number 1 seed against a 16 seed Zombie. Who would win in a matchup between a Godzilla and Zombie? I think we can both agree Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. No need to even debate this one. Next one, Chupacabra versus Medusa, a 9 and 8 seed. This is going to be as close of a matchup in the first round as we will find. I'm going to go with Medusa here, David.
Yeah, it has to be Medusa.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to go with Medusa as well. She moves on. Next will be Kraken versus Bigfoot. Who wins against Kraken versus Bigfoot? I'm assuming for the sake of this argument, we're going to have a fair neutral site where there's a little water. Maybe it's like a swamp in the woods where they both have a little bit of an advantage.
Sure.
Where would you go?
I would have to go Kraken.
I agree.
I can't see the Bigfoot having enough strength to take on a Kraken.
Yeah, the foot only gets you so far. You can only paddle away so far with those big feet. All right, next we go to Jaws and Alien. And of course, I'm thinking, for sake of clarification, the Alien franchise Alien. David?
Yes.
I'm going to lean Alien here.
Yeah.
Jaws did die at the end of that film. Alien.
Right. I think the superior intelligence is going to be the kicker.
Yeah. All right, we move on. Mummy versus Centaur. Now, keep in mind, whenever I put this in here as such a high seed, as a number 3 seed for Mummy versus Centaur, a 14 seed, I put the Mummy in the neck of the Brendan Fraser Mummy. So it's got a couple powers.
Okay, so it's got all right. Then in that case, I would go with Mummy.
I agree. Yeah. Centaur can only do so much, even as good as they are with the bow. All right, next one, a number 11 seed Werewolf versus number 6 seed Vampire. This is a historical matchup. This is if ever you watch March Madness, this is where the two blue blood conferences where maybe they shouldn't have been seeded like this, but they wanted to make sure that they had a UNC versus Duke in there because everybody goes to see this, even though the seeding might not make sense. They wanted to make sure that this happened early on in a bracket. So an 11 Werewolf versus a 6 Vampire. This might be our first point of contention here, David. Where are you going?
It could be. I'm basing. Well, I guess I in the back of my head is Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Werewolf.
See, and I got to go Vampire here. I think that both lose their power during day, so neither one gains an advantage in the emotional setting. And since Vampire's already converted in werewolf, I think that it lasts.
Can I convince you? You need a silver bullet to kill a werewolf, but wood will do for a vampire.
Doesn't it have to be in a cross? Can a werewolf artsy craft a cross? I thought it had to be a cross stake.
No, I think it just has to be a wooden stake. I mean, I'm sure it depends on the franchise here.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to my mom and see what's going on. Here we go. Mom. Mom!
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your patience. I'm sure Philip's going to cut out some of this dead time here.
My mom's not available, so we're going to go to my sister. Beth! Yeah. Who would win in a fight, vampire or werewolf? Werewolf? Yeah. All right, and there we have it. Werewolf moves on. Thank you. Werewolf moves on.
Werewolf is the winner.
Yes. Upset. Our first upset. Yes. All right. Next one. King Kong, a 7-seeded King Kong versus number 10 Yeti.
I mean, I suppose there's lots of different franchises with lots of different sizes of King Kong, but I would have to go with King Kong.
King Kong, we both agree here. I think the size advantage would always go, and they kind of feel similar. Anyways, and then in our 2-seed versus a 15-seed, we've got 15 Frankenstein's monster versus number 2 dragon.
Yeah, I'm thinking Game of Thrones dragon, in which case Frank has no chance.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, not even a chance. All right, we move our way back up the list. Next round, Godzilla versus Medusa, number 1 seed versus a number 8 seed. This one is probably closer than you might think.
Look, I think here's the fact with Medusa is that if you have the wherewithal to close your eyes, then you have a chance maybe. But
isn't it Medusa? Otherwise, you need to look at her face.
Yeah, you need to look into her eyes.
Into her eyes? I don't think Godzilla cares to look into her eyes to make eye contact. I think he's just going to see this little thing and just even accidentally smush it with his pinky toe.
Just stomp. Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough.
All right.
Godzilla
moves on. Next one, a 5 versus a 4. Kraken at number 5 versus Alien number 4. Ooh. Have we ever seen Alien in water? I'm sure somebody's going to point to a time in a movie that I have not seen. Alien 7, where Alien was in water.
I'm going to vote for Kraken.
I think so too. I think Kraken.
I just think that there's too much power there.
Yeah, even if it's just taking Alien to the depths of the sea, I think Alien would lose there. So we move Kraken on. That might be controversial whenever we hear back on this. Next one, 3 versus 11 seed, Mummy versus Werewolf. 2 ancient ones, 2 very a legacy type here.
If we're talking Brendan Fraser Mummy, then I think it has to go to Mummy.
I think so too. Mummy versus Werewolf. Mummy moves on. Next one. Ooh, this is exciting. A number 7 King Kong versus a number 2 Dragon. Which way you going, David? Ooh, this is epic.
Oh, that is tough.
And you know what's going to kind of change your mind, I think, or at least, and I have not seen Godzilla versus King Kong, and you have. And Godzilla can't fly, but he does have a lot of the tendencies and attributes of a dragon, especially with fire breathing and what have you.
Yeah.
So maybe that might influence your decision here. But I think...
Go on.
I think I'm going to go dragon.
You know, I'm gonna as a book reader for Game of Thrones. You'll know. Well, anyone who's also a book reader for Game of Thrones knows that the dragons actually never stop growing. So if you have like a 200-year-old dragon, then it's going to be pretty big, large enough to take on Kong. So I'm gonna agree with you. Dragon,
King Kong. The king of what? Doesn't matter. Next one. A number 1 seed, Godzilla, versus a number 5 seed, the Kraken.
Oh, man.
Wow. They're both water-based in some way. So this actually could happen.
Yeah, so it could happen, yeah. You know, I'm just going to say that there's that scene in Kong Skull Island where Kong, like, eats that octopus.
Yeah. You think
I'm just going to base it off that, and then I'm going to go with Godzilla.
I think so. I think the Kraken's hit its ceiling. I don't know that the Kraken can do much, and what would it do against the fire of Godzilla? Here we go. Right. Another interesting one. This might be telling. Number 3 Mummy versus a number 2 Dragon. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, how do you? It's like comparing apples with grass.
Yeah, because I think the only way the Mummy could possibly, Brendan Fraser's Mummy could ever attempt to fight this, because it's not like he can suck the soul out of the dragon or something like that. That just wouldn't make sense.
No.
He would probably have to turn into that sand trap, that sand.
Yeah, but even that, it's like sand.
Yeah,
nah.
What's that going to do?
I'm gonna go with dragon.
I think so too. Dragon. Wow, not a lot of disagreements here, but we do finally meet our much ballyhooed conclusion here. Number 1 versus number 2. No upsets here. Godzilla versus a dragon. Godzilla versus a dragon.
You know, I really don't want the winner to be Godzilla.
I think we're both going to be working with that premise.
I don't know. You decide.
Oh man, I think age is definitely going to play a factor here, because I think a dragon can live longer than Godzilla. I think because of the mythicality, and they've lived centuries and eons. Versus Godzilla, he's on Earth. He's based on Earth, and so he's only as old as Earth can possibly be. So I'm going to say, let's just say Drazilla. And I'm going to go with dragon, and let the haters come at us.
The haters are going to hate.
All right.
It is a dragon.
Dragon takes the top seed, and make sure to come and tell us on social media for all of our hate that the dragon beat somebody down here. I'm sure somebody's going to be upset about Chupacabra being like, what the heck happened to Chupacabra? Should have made a few more rounds above. Anyways, Dragon, king of the monsters. Go tell your friends.
God, I love that bass. Thank you, Jake, for that beautiful, beautiful riff. So this is That Slaps, as you're probably well familiar with by now, and I'm gonna take it first. And this is where the monster theme from Once More came from. The other monster movie that I watched this week was Love and Monsters, nominated for Best Special Effects at the Academy Awards. You know what I loved? Okay, I loved that it was original. So it's not a sequel, it's not a spin-off, it's not a remake like most movies that are coming out these days, especially blockbuster movies. It's an original story. It was so refreshing, and I hate, and it's because of the pandemic, it had a terrible box office performance. It had a budget of $30 million and only made $1 million at the box office. Isn't that just tragic? And obviously it'll make money through streaming and whatnot, DVD sales perhaps, for anyone who still buys DVDs. But, you know, I really want it. I would love for it to do somewhat well. So if you can somehow put money into renting or something that for this movie, because it was original and it was great and it was fun, nice sort of family movie. It slaps.
Mine is a song that came on while I was in the shower, and as my 1,000-hour shower playlist suggests, I have a couple that I just lose in there. And this one came up, and I just remembered that I have no idea what this song is about, what it goes about, but that's kind of what happens whenever you listen to Dave Matthews Band. Yes, I'm talking about Ants Marching. It's a great song. Love it. I debated about putting this as my always makes me happy song, but this song, it's infectious. It's so good. It's so good. If you have not heard it, do yourself a favor and listen to it, because it certainly slaps.
Thank you guys so much for listening. It has been wonderful having you. And we got a couple thank yous. Thank you to Cass and Crossland and to Jake Corlang for our music on this show.
Thank you to Tara Amstutz for all of her wonderful design and graphic work that we try to implement everywhere because it's so beautiful. Thank you, Tara.
And thank you, the listener, for sticking with us through all the monsters and music and mayhem. And we will be back every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, Google, and iHeart. Still no Pandora. Thank you guys so much for listening, and take care.
There's bears in them hills.